Hi, Andrew. Good to see you. We just made it back from the conference down in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, the government shutdown made it a little bit difficult for me, but I made it.
Yeah, good to hear. Same here. The weather was much nicer, but nonetheless, had a great time. It was good to be back down in Florida. Question, what was your favorite part of the conference this year?
Well, I've been to this conference now for, I'd say probably close to 20 years, maybe 15 years. And so I'm very familiar with the conference. I'm familiar with the people. It's great to see old friends. But for me, the part of the conference that I enjoy the most happens outside of the conference rooms. I enjoy the informal learning that you get to do with the other attendees. I host a reception in my suite the first couple of nights, and people come and really just have a chance to let their hair down, relax, and really talk about their own practices and what's working for them and share ideas. And I think that informal sharing ideas is a hallmark of the APPM. I have never really seen it at any other conference I've been to. And I think that's what makes us really stand out, is that everyone's so willing to share what's working for them and so eager to see what they can what they can implement in their own practices. How about you?
Nice. Yeah, well, with this being just my second conference, what I really enjoyed was actually reconnecting with some people that I met for the first time last year, and digging a little deeper into those relationships and getting to know them a little better. And then also meeting some new people. And we had a great group of people at the conference. And we had some of these people that we met, and we were able to interview them for the podcast. And that was a cool experience as well. So fun all around. A great time, and I would encourage anyone else that is a member to come down to the conference next year and have fun with us.
Absolutely. Every November in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, with that being said, I'd like to introduce our next interview here. And Dr. Peter Wishnie is a remarkable entrepreneur, leadership coach, and business transformation expert who has turned adversity into extraordinary success. Dr. Wishnie's story is one of courage, determination, and business mastery. At the age of 29, fresh out of podiatry school, he made a bold decision that would define his career. Instead of working for someone else, he chose to be his own boss. And he actually purchased a practice in New Jersey. And what seemed to be like a dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Between student loans, the purchase of the practice, and credit lines, he found himself $300,000 in debt before seeing his first patient. And to make matters worse, the previous owner had discharged most of the patients right before closing, leaving his practice losing about $7,500 a month. But here's why Dr. Wishnie's story became truly inspirational, because failure was not an option for him. He immersed himself in business education, hired coaches, implemented systems and workflows. He learned how to analyze key performance indicators, and he built the right team that was able to transform his practice. And after just over 1 year, he netted more money than the previous owner had made in any of the previous 17 years. Dr. Wishnie's impact extends beyond his own practice, and as the director of physician programming at top practices since 2012, he's been mentoring and coaching doctors to achieve similar success. Rem Jackson, CEO of Top Practices, has called Dr. Wishnie's practice one of the most well-managed practices he's ever seen. As a John Maxwell certified leadership coach, Dr. Wishnie is sought-after speaker who has addressed over 45 state and national conferences on topics ranging from practice management and leadership to achieving work-life balance and preparing for business exits. He's the author of 2 acclaimed books, The Podiatry Practice Business Solution and Running a Successful Medical Practice Should Be a Dream, Not a Nightmare. What drives Dr. Wishnie today is his passion for helping other business owners and leaders achieve the life they deserve, one where they're not slaves to their jobs, but have the freedom to enjoy family, hobbies, and friends. His coaching sessions help entrepreneurs scale their business to multiple seven-figure levels while decreasing their working hours by 20% or more. Dr. Wishnie's philosophy is simple but powerful. We became business owners not to work more, but to have more freedom to live our best lives. His proven methods have helped countless professionals transform their practices and reclaim their time. So please join me in welcoming someone who's not only mastered the art of building a highly profitable business, but has dedicated his life to helping others do the same, Dr. Peter Wishnie.
Dr. Peter Wishnie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Andrew. It's great to be here.
Great. So you've had a lot of hats over your career. You've been a practicing podiatrist. Now you're a coach, coaching other healthcare practitioners and other podiatrists. And I know a big focus of yours is how the owner and the podiatrist is the leader of the team. How important is leadership in a podiatry practice?
It's huge, absolutely huge, Andrew. Leadership is what set me free from my practice. I was no longer a prisoner. And I'll tell you what I mean. For the first couple of years of practice, I couldn't even keep an employee. And I thought the problem was that people didn't want to work as hard. Now, this is about in 1989, where we're having the same problems now as we did back then. And that is we saying that these people are lazy, our staff can't follow orders. But after losing staff member after staff member, I realized the problem was not the staff, but was me. And I had to change. And that's when I read books. I became a certified leadership coach, and I learned how to lead others. And the best leaders take their staff, make them leaders, who then teach others to lead. That takes the pressure off of you so you can focus on what you do best, and that's being a doctor.
How do you deal with the pushback from your team, or do you get pushback from your team when you're trying to lead and they're not willing to follow?
Great question, Andrew. Because most people don't know how to lead, and it's not their fault. You're not born a leader, and you have to learn yourself how to be a great leader. And once you do that, you can show them. And I think the best way is to teach them to be accountable for their position. And let me give you an example. If the front desk of your office has a purpose, or purpose and that is to keep the appointment book full with productive patients, to make sure these patients keep their appointments, and to collect all monies due at the time of service. Those three purposes are measurable. And now you have three metrics. You have that team person measure those metrics, put it on a graph, and now with AI, it's so easy to do. They then look at the graphs, analyze them, and make a weekly action plan that they send to you, the doctor owner. Now, it sounds like it's a lot, and it's going to take them time to do it, but it's not. After they learn to do it, it'll take them 5 minutes every single week, and now they are accountable. They see a graph that is either trending upward or downward, and now they are taking control of their position. It's not that my job is to answer the phone and make an appointment. My job is to help the organization with their mission and vision for that practice.
Dr. Wishnie, I have a question. Did you have an aha moment, an epiphany moment that drove you to make that change and say, I need to become a better leader and search out resources for that? Or was it, a few things over the years that you just kind of eventually put together that you needed to invest in yourself to better your organization and your staff overall?
Sure. I wanted to take it back to how do you learn to lead? And usually learn to lead from the people who love you and who are around you, maybe teachers, other attendings, parents. And for me, my father was a vice president of this company in the garment center. And his job was a textile converter. And what they do is take raw material, send it out, and have them, let's say, dye the material. And then he gets it back and sends it to the manufacturer. In this case, one of his clients was Louis Vuitton. So that material was actually my father's material that's shipped out. And being a 9-year-old boy, visiting my father in New York City in his office, and then watching him work was like, you're so proud of your father. But the garment center is a different industry, if you know anything about it. And he was always on the phone, smoking his cigarettes, and basically cursing out people, saying, "Where's my freaking order? I need my stuff." All this. I don't want any excuses. And I'm like, wow, my dad's cool, right? He's like the boss. And you don't realize that carries with you. So when you're like now in a practice and you have staff back in the 1990s making $10 an hour, and they saying things, doing things that are really amazing you, and you look at them and you look at like head is slanted, eyes are slanted, go like you're not saying it, but you might as well say, "Well, you're stupid," and they're not. But you don't realize that they come from a different background. Life is different, and then you get called out on it, and your team says, "This is not how I want to be treated." So then you realize the problem is truly me, and I need to change. And like I always say, it's cheaper to read books than go to therapy. And that's what I did. I really worked on myself. And you can't get other people to do what you want them to do if you don't follow the same rules for yourself.
Excuse me. Yes, you. You didn't become a doctor to manage retirement plans. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Beyond Financial Planning, partnering with the AAPPM to offer you, its members, a multiple employer pension 401k plan. If you have questions or want to dive deeper into today's topic, visit us at aappm401k.com.
Yeah, I love that continual improvement mindset and being able to be self-aware enough to know that you have to work on your leadership skills. That's amazing that you were able to come to that conclusion.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, it's I'm telling you, we look at everybody's practices, KPIs, systems. It's truly all about leadership. I could remember times I go on vacation and you come back from vacation and when you have a great team, when they handled everything for you the way you want them to be handled, and you have nothing to do. I mean, I used to arrive 2 hours early on the first day of work after my vacation, and I had nothing to do because it was all done.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
That's powerful.
And Peter, how often do you see the opposite, where you see the team leading the doctor?
All the time. All the time. Doctors are great at what they do. And we have tendencies to be perfectionists, because in the operating room, you never say, "Well, that's good enough." No, we're perfectionists, but we expect others to be perfect. And when they're not, we micromanage them. So then they're controlling you. Now, what I see a lot is that staff takes advantage of the doctor. "I don't feel well." I heard today, one staff member says, "You know what? I went to bed late. I'm tired. I'm not coming to work today." And the doctor just said, "Well," she felt like handcuffed. So, okay, whatever. You don't want to ever be in that situation. When that happens, you need to say, "You need to come to work today, Otherwise, don't come to work ever again. And we're afraid to say that because now we have to look for another employee. We're going to be shorthanded. It's going to put a strain on the rest of the staff and myself. This person has never bought into your vision and mission for that practice. And when you say, okay, don't come in today, the rest of your staff is listening. And they're going to do the same thing to you because they know there are no consequences.
So the name of our podcast is The Entrepreneurial Podiatrist. A lot of podiatrists don't see themselves as entrepreneurs. Why? How would you make that connection between the two?
Sure. When you're in medical school, what was your focus on? You totally focus on getting through school, right? You're not thinking about, or most people don't think about owning my own business and what my per visit revenue is, how I'm going to make money on it. I'm going to follow what everybody does. I'm going to study hard, get the best residency. Then for those 3 years, going to learn how to be the best surgeon. Then hopefully someone will hire me. And it goes through that whole process to the point where maybe you want to open your practice. For me, I never worked for anyone in my life. My ex-wife said, I don't have the personality to work for someone. And she was absolutely right. So I give her credit. It's the reason why I never worked for anyone. But not most people don't have that, they think they need to be trained by others, and from that, they're going to learn the trade. As my uncle said, learn the trade and then open your practice. I never did that. But because you never were in a position to own anything prior to owning your practice, you thought, hey, I'm going to do a great job as a doctor, treat my patients. They're going to tell other patients. They're going to come in, and that's all I have to focus on. They forget there's so many aspects of running a business. And now we have to change our mindset that we are an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur does not mean you have to own multiple businesses. It's just one business that you're working on to be the best business possible. Now, there are many different businesses inside your podiatry practice. It's crazy. So you can have multiple different businesses right there with the right entrepreneurial mindset.
Well, Greg, I thought that was a great interview. And when it comes down to it, leadership transcends specialty, doesn't it?
Yeah, Andrew, without a good team to lead, a leader is not effective. And a great team without a leader ends up just floundering.
And you see that in so many small businesses, so many businesses in general, but small businesses in particular, where they kind of think they run themselves. And even when you have a small team, it's important to have a good leader to guide them through. You always think that as a small team, people are talking to each other all the time, but it's not the case. We need to have a good leader behind that.
Agreed. Yes.
Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us for this episode of the podcast. Please remember to subscribe to wherever you're listening or viewing. Also, like the podcast and be sure to share on social media. Also, if you haven't been to an AAPPM meeting, remember that our annual meeting is every November in Lagomar Resort in Fort Lauderdale. It's an amazing meeting. We have new content every year, and we hope that you join us next year.
Thank you for listening to the Entrepreneurial Podiatrist Podcast. Click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Visit our website at aappm.org or aappm401k.com. You'll find all our social media links in the episode summary. We'd love to connect.